All praise Yahbashim Yashab Bashim Rakakadash. This relates to quick news. Trump set to meet with Putin in Alaska August 15, next Friday. Investigations underway of the Emory University shooting. Clear and present danger. Trump directs military use against the drug cartels. And you have in relating to Mexico, they want to increase efforts relating to that as well. Prime Minister. New tariffs go into effect. Trump removes IRS commissioner after less than 2 months. You have a redirection issue relating to Texas and California, relating to the gerrymander redistricting. I've seen something with Arnold Schwarzenegger opposing certain things too against Gavin Newsom. I've seen that on a report a few days ago. So you have and major arrests relating to ones who defective Texas Democrats, fines and different things relating to the gerrymander and redirecting. So you have an issue. So Texas do certain things and California is going to do certain things, so it's a big issue between both of them relating to that. You have in Trump's opening remarks on trilateral peace deals with Armenia and Azerbaijan relating to peace talks. You had a prime minister of Cambodia talk about giving Trump the Nobel Peace Prize, nominating for the Nobel Peace Prize. Federal agents take people at Van Nuys Home Depot, which is in California. Trump announces White House press conference to stop violence in D.C. Trump's intensifying relating to law enforcement, which is going to target a certain group of people relating to crimes. And I've seen a report, a retired Philadelphia police officer says certain category groups of people are purposely targeted because they have no power. Scripture talks about relating to Jacob will be a worm. Worm is a defenseless entity. I'll get the scripture. Lord willing. Friday marks Trump's deadline. You had August 6, 1945, relating to 80-year anniversary of Hiroshima. That was a few days ago. Friday's marks Trump's deadline for Putin to make peace. So they extending to. That's why they're continuing meeting anyway, relating to August 15th in Alaska, next Friday. They want to talk about something with territory, territories, somewhere on territory, relating to territories. We're probably talking about more relating to having their goals to have, absolute between Ukraine and Russia, stop the war, in the matter of speaking. DOJ scrutinizes UCLA for alleged bias. They had to pay $1 billion relating to anti-Semitic, allegations relating to that. You having what a federal lawsuit reveals about the inner workings of Alligator, Alcatraz, or Auschwitz, which is pretty much concentration camp. That's what that means. U.S. island of Saipan commemorates 80 years since Nagasaki. That goes to Hiroshima, man. 80 years, August 6, 1945. Attorney describes the first visit inside relating to the horrible conditions. They're saying unfavorable conditions relating to Alcatraz. Alcatraz, Auschwitz, or Alligator, Alcatraz. So that's what they're talking about. Let me get that scripture. Isaiah 41 and 14. Fear not, thou worm Jacob, and ye men of Israel, I will help thee, saith the Lord, thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. Redeemer is Yahweh Shai, relating to his son, because he's going to send his son as the Redeemer. Redeemer is the deliverer, rescuer. So that worm relates to Israel as a collective, relating to the northern and southern tribe. Go to Ezekiel 37. They both, Scripture talks about it being captivity both together, you know what I mean? So they're collectively represent that worm. Worm is a defenseless entity. You know what I mean? That's a certain category group of people, man. They have no military, no power, no might, man. Fear not, thou worm Jacob, and ye men of Israel, I will help thee, saith the Lord, the Redeemer of the Holy One of Israel. So that's why that retired Philadelphia officer said that, man. He said that for a group of people, man. Because they don't have no help or power. They're not in a position to defend themselves really like that on a collective, because this is not their rulership. Let me get another scripture real quick. Scripture talks about, paraphrasing, if this was our kingdom, my servants would fight. Let me see if I find that. Yahweh Shai answered, my kingdom is not of an earthly kingdom. It is where my followers would fight. If it were, my followers would fight to keep me from being handed over to the Jewish leaders, which is the Roman. But my kingdom is not of this world. So the kingdom, Lord's kingdom is not of this world, man. Neither is the men that represent him, man. This is not, his kingdom is not an earthly kingdom. You know what I mean? It's beyond here, man. It's in a spiritual realm. You know what I mean? And really, it's going to be the new kingdom on earth, man. You know what I mean? Scripture talks about, in Sirach 10, talk about he's going to set one that's profitable. 10:4 of Sirach. So the point is, this is not Israel's rulership, man. You know, that's why they're that worm. Isaiah 41 and 14. A worm is a defenseless entity. This is not their rulership. If it was their rulership, then they will fight. And that scripture specifically talks about they were protect from them being handed over, man. You know what I mean? Because they will be able to defend themselves. And then plus, on a deeper aspect, he comes in, scripture says, he come in a more docile form, man. The Lord is the only begotten Son. He come in a more docile form. He's coming to do the will of his Father, man. Which means he has to be passive and meek and humble. You know what I mean? So he's coming to do the will of his Father. So that requires him to be non-aggressive. So that was just going in a little bit on that. All right, this is I read that on New Living Translation. Let me see another one. King James want to be Yahweh Shai answered, my kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then would my servants fight, that I should not be delivered to the Jews. But now is my kingdom not from his. So this is not his rulership. So he has to The scripture says he must suffer many things, be crucified, and be risen in 3 days, man. You know what I mean? So he has to suffer much, man. You know what I mean? And go through certain things because he's doing the will of his Father, man. He's come to do do the will and business of his Father, man. So he has to come in a certain manner, particularly of passiveness, man. So that was King James, and I'll read the New Living Translation. Let's go to see what more news it has. You're also seeing a lot of videos relating to economically. I've seen a report that Japan is experiencing excessive heat wave, major heat wave, very intense heat in Japan. You have the United States grounded across technical meltdown. That happened nationwide. That relates to the weights and balance. Because if the plane is not properly weighted and balanced, you can't fly that. You can't fly that plane, man. And that's where you had issues relating to that. That was across the country a few days ago. In different hubs across nationwide in different various airports across the country. You have so you see in videos relating to economical videos. There's one video I've seen relating to the U.S. and its financial system, the collapse relating to that dollar. I've seen a lot of videos relating to that. You know what I mean? Let me see. India's bold pivot to China. You see the defection of India to China. So all these other countries are going to another way. They're going another direction. So so they're removing themselves from the U.S., which means isolation and alienation. They alienate from the U.S. and they isolate from the U.S., going to these other countries because they don't trust relating to the U.S. They see the financial writing on the wall. They know that dollar is on its way out, man. You know what I mean? That's why you see in videos relating to that. You won't hear this on regular news. And regular TV they won't say boo relating to financial aspects because they're trained not to. The narrative has to be controlled, and the same people who are doing certain things control relating to these venues, these platforms. Media's a space they control, man. So they got to control the narrative respectfully. That goes to Operation Mockingbird. That's media manipulation. They have to manipulate the information and control the narrative, man. So they have to tell you what they want to tell you, what they think you need to know, and not what you actually need to know. Because to keep the people dumbed down with the bread and circus and other things, you know what I mean, while other things behind the scenes is actually going on, man. They don't want most of the people to know about those things. That's why they keep them distracted with bread and circus, entertainment, and different things, man. It's by design, man. You have crash income and 40% market concentration triggers everything in a bubble risk. So you see in different reports on different things. This is the one here. You're seeing a lot of videos relating to financial aspect. U.S. devaluation. Brace yourself. A global currency collapse is coming. So things are inevitable, man. Can't be avoided. You know what I mean? So certain things are going to come to pass, man. Scripture says, be circumspect and not as fools as wise, redeeming the times because the days are evil. We're really in some evil times. Evil times financially, socially, economically. A lot of things are pivoting and shifting in certain directions, man. And that being said, I hope this helps. This is Zayah Wolf. All praise Yahweh Shem Yeshua B'Shem Makakadash. This is Zayah Wolf. All men and the water from Truth of Knowledge and Men and Truth, and the Truth of Knowledge. We know this Truth of Knowledge. And Thawadi Al-Bashim Yashah, related to this Truth of Knowledge. I hope it helps related to information. I hope it's informative relating to information specifically. This is Zaya Washawan.